What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Donnie! We are back, baby. I know I kept you guys waiting for a long time, but I thought it was only right to post this video Saturday, one day before the game, one day before the big game, one day before our playoff return after all these years. Look at this, look at this. You can go anywhere you want to on ESPN. But we ain't talking Carmelo. We ain't talking Tyler Chandler. We ain't talking Shumpert. We ain't talking 2013, 2012 postseason. We ain't talking Ray Felton. We talking about 2020, baby! 2020 playoffs. We're finally here. 2020, 2021. Julius Randle, our guy. You know what I'm saying? It's about damn time. That's all I'm going to say. It's about damn time. But without further ado, let's get into why I made this video. I've been thinking about this video for a long time, and I put together a list of the things that I think will help us go far in the playoffs. Who knows where we can go? I definitely think we can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? And from there, anything is possible. But we got to do these things. We got to do these things. Number one, man of the moment. I think he will get most improved. But I said, Randall needs to learn to trust his teammates when someone else is hot, drive and kick. Now, this is something that we see all the time, especially like the last 10 games. When Randall, is in a situation where we're trying to feed him the ball, but he's not hot. Give it to RJ in the corner. How many times have we seen that, though? Give it to RJ in the corner. Drive, kick it. That Bullock handled that. Boom. It's a three-pointer. Now we're back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is so important to realize. We have to be able to realize, well, Randall needs to realize, yes, you are the man on this team. But sometimes when you're not hot, you give it up. If you're not hot, that driving kick is so effective because it forces people to collapse on you on defense, and now the corners are open. We have snipers there. I consider Bullock a sniper. I consider even RJ a sniper. People were trying to clown RJ's shot like RJ's not a shooter now. Crazy. You must have not been watching. And, I totally respect RJ Barrett now from where he's came from this season to what he's doing now. So, that's 100%. Next, get the damn rebounds. Another man in the moment. Here he is, Nerlens Noel. Average 1.1 steals a game, 2.2 blocks. Why is this important? Because Mitchell Robinson is out, so Nerlens Noel is going to be the guy who's playing most of the time. Can Mitchell Robinson come back? Yeah. But how is he going to play? We don't know. They're saying that it's possible for him to return, but, by the time the playoffs start, Nerlens Noel is going to be in rhythm. And so is Taj Gibson. But I really do feel like Nerlens Noel, you need to be that guy. You got to box out sometimes, man. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't box out well enough. And sometimes when he's defending, he's trying to defend pick and rolls or players are figuring him out. And sometimes it leaves him exposed, saying it the nice way. And he needs to understand he's very, very important. Very important, very important. Asset to this team because you are the one from defense that starts offense once you grab that rebound. And, it bit us, for example, the Laker game, one rebound, even though it wasn't Noel's fault, if I remember correctly. But I'm saying in general, rebounds can cost you so big in basketball. So I really do think that Noel needs to be the guy. Anchor, man. Anchor it down. Anchor it down over there so that we can start the next attack where we defended that play well and then we can, figure out what we want to do from there. Let's see. Next, Tibbs making adjustments if necessary. And I put in parentheses Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton, where the hell are you? Alfred Payton. Look, man, I feel like Alfred Payton can contribute in spurts. But I don't think Alfred Payton is a guy, as this loads up, I don't think Alfred Payton is a guy that you can rely on for significant minutes. I think his minutes actually gone down lately. Last 10 games, yeah, see, definitely. Last 10 games, it went to about 15 minutes. He was playing way more than that, earlier in the season. So Tibbs realized, hey, listen, this guy is hurting me. Even though I think in spurts he can contribute, but sometimes what happens is he tries to do too much, and now it's costing turnovers. He's bad layup attempts. You know, Alfred Payton needs to play in spurts. I think defensively he can help us, and he does have ability to get a bucket for us from time to time, but it's not something that you overly rely upon. That's just my opinion, but that goes for as far as knowing who the personnel is, and that goes back to Tibbs. You got to make the adjustments. I don't care if you want to play Frank in spurts if you think he can guard Trey Young, but you need to understand if it's not working, you got to switch it. Because the playoffs are different. You can be down fast in the playoffs if you don't make adjustments. It's a clean slate for everybody. But I think Thibodeau has been doing that, and that's why he's been very successful. I was getting on him early in the season for trying to stick with guys for too long, and I think some of the coaches have been in his ear and really told him, like, hey, listen, if you really want to make these adjustments, we have better chances of winning, and we did. Sometimes if Alfred is not on or if it's not working with quickly, make the adjustments, and he has, and look how well we've played. But that's my point when it comes to that. You got to know when to make the adjustments. It's very necessary in the playoffs. Next, I have Derrick Rose. He's right here, actually. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is going to be so important. In fact, I think Derrick Rose is really up for Sixth Man of the Year. He averages 14 points against Atlanta for the season, and we know what Derrick Rose can do. Totally changed his game, from what he used to play back in the day to what he is now. But this guy makes our team so much better that when Derrick Rose is on the floor, everything seems to flow better. Everything just seems to go better because he's a true point guard, and that's what he does. Unfortunately, at his age, he can't play from start to finish, but he will play significant minutes. I really do believe he will. If Derrick Rose is on, it's guaranteed that we almost win this game. It's just guaranteed. If he's on, it's guaranteed. Because then all you really need is Randall to be on and then quickly or RJ to finish it. And that's it. And that's the key. That's the key. That's the key to this game. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has been so important. He has big shot after big shot, big drive after big drive. MVP for a reason. Youngest MVP in the league for a reason. He's definitely revamping himself, and he's finding himself. He has like a third win now, because it's not really a second win, more like a third win in his career, and he's helping us so much. He's unbelievable what he's done, and I didn't think it would have turned out like this. I'm not gonna lie to you for Derrick Rose, because I thought he was gonna take minutes away from quickly, but what ended up happening is that they don't really play at the same time, which is another good adjustment that Tibbs was able to make. They don't play at the same time, but if they do play, they can complement each other if they're played at the right times, which is important too. And I think Derrick Rose is going to play a very big role in this playoffs, and we know that because we've seen what he's been doing. Everything just seems to go with him if Derrick Rose is on. Next, keep the foot on the gas. When I say keep the foot on the gas, because I say keep the foot on the gas because sometimes we go into slump periods where we don't seem to attack as much as we could, because I don't know if we're falling into the trap of the other team. Let's say if we're winning and we don't feel like we need to do more, or if it's more of we're kind of lulled into this sense of, we'll come back later like we always do, and we usually do. But I think the playoffs, people are not going to play around. If you've seen these Laker games versus Golden State, or when Golden State just played Memphis, that was a play-in. You know what I'm saying? That was a play-in, and it was like that. The playoffs, they're not going to play around. We got to keep the foot on the gas, man. Foot on the gas is very important. It's very important to keep your foot on the gas. You can be fine. Like I said before, you can find yourself down real fast if you're not careful in these playoffs. So I do think it's important for us to understand that we need to keep the pressure on us. Randall's hot. Randall, drive, dish, Bullock hit one. Next, come back, RJ. Go for a drive. Get a foul. And one. Come back again. Nerlens Noel. Defense. Get the rebound. Kick it back up again. Randall try and drive it. You know what I'm saying? Like constant punches, man. We got to keep attacking. We can't let up, man. Because these Hawks want to beat us. In fact, we have an identical record. It's going to be a good series. I ain't going to hold you. Sunday. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared. Next, Stay composed. And that's kind of what leads into the next point, really. Stay composed. It's the playoffs. It's whatever we did in regular season, it's over. You know what I'm saying? That's done. It's over with. It doesn't matter anymore. Really, regular season doesn't matter anymore. It is a new game. It's a new series. Everything is different. We're in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Fans are excited. Tickets are going for $1,000. If you want to pass me a ticket, please do, because I am not paying that right now. But you know what I'm saying? It's a clean slate. Regular season doesn't matter anymore. We gotta come in. We gotta come in with that mentality, man. Whatever we did in regular season, it was great. It was nice to see. But the playoffs are here, and it's a totally clean slate. I think Tibbs touched on that one of the last games of the season. We got to come in with that mentality that it doesn't matter. We're starting from scratch again, and we're starting to build from there. You know what I mean? That's just how it's got to be. Nerlens Noel and Taj will be crucial. I spoke on Nerlens Noel. I didn't really speak on Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson is also very important because there's periods in certain games where he just fits better than Nerlens Noel does. So I do think he's a little bit stronger than Nerlens Noel, even though he doesn't have the size. But what Taj Gibson can do in his experience and leadership and getting he gets a lot of rebounds, to tell you the truth, for his size. You know, he just adds a little bit more to what we have as far as the centers go. You know, here he is, Taj Gibson. And that's crucial too, because again, with Mitchell Robinson being out, you know, you're going to need Taj and Noel, both of them. You can't just rely on one. You need both. You know, because certain games, Taj Gibson is just a better fit. And I do think certain periods of the game where you just need a little bit of toughness, you need that grit. You know, it comes a little bit more from Taj. Not saying that Nerlens Noel doesn't have it. I just think that Taj just has a little bit more. And that's what I got to say about him. Next, R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett, the most improved player from start to finish, even though Randall has been our best player. You know, Randall has been our best player, but I think R.J. Barrett has been the most improved from start to finish of the season because Randall has continuously played well. But there was a period of time that R.J. Barrett wasn't playing well, and now he's absolutely playing fantastic. But problem with him is that he plays fantastic in spurts. He doesn't play fantastic all the time. He has had stretches where he's had maybe like 4 or 5 games where he's playing phenomenal, and then he has another 3 or 4 games where it's not that hot, and that's kind of been his thing, you know. He kind of sometimes gets started slow, but he finishes strong. That's like his thing. Start slow, finishes strong. Or he kind of finishes, or the opposite, where he waits until later in the game to really get going. You know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. What the hell I'm trying to say? But it's more with R.J. Barrett. My point is that I want him to be consistent. Why does he need to be consistent? Because I think that every game is different. Whether we get the chance to play 5 games, with the chance to play 6 games, I actually think this game is. I think it's actually going to go to 6 games. I have a feeling it's going to go to 6 games. You know, that's just me. I think it's going to be a 6-gamer. And I actually do think we'll come out energized and we'll win the first 2, and then we may lose 1. You know, that's another thing too. The way we come out, and that's crucial for R.J. Barrett. But I think he needs to trust his shot, and Randall needs to help him with that, by the way, because if Randall just gets into positions to be able to make the pass, RJ can benefit from that. Because sometimes RJ doesn't get anything from ISO Randall, even though ISO Randall seems to be on early, but usually not late. That's why you want Randall to be able to pass it to RJ later in the game so that, 1, we actually can get the bucket, and 2, RJ can also contribute and build his confidence because it's important. Randall, for me on the team, it's Randall, RJ. If you're talking about pairings, Randall, RJ. You got quickly Rose, and then Burks and Bullock kind of feed off Randall because they need to be in the corners. You know, bro, we have a team here, man. We have a team here, and you guys know I know this team by heart. I don't even know how many minutes this video is. I don't care, but. You know what I mean? We have the setup. It's just for Randall especially to make sure he finds RJ in his spots. It will help RJ a lot early on in the season, early on in games. If he's found early, get a foul, get a bucket, get something. Because if RJ is trying to force a shot and it's not on, now we need to maybe wait till fourth quarter for him to really get going. And are we back at that time in the game, or are we even up? Because if we gotta chase the game all the time, playoffs is gonna be very tough. Very tough. Centers needs to be huge. Center needs to be so huge. I'm telling you. These guys have been watching us. The Hawks are watching us. And the whole league has been watching us. Expect adjustments to be made. Next point. But let me finish on that. Like RJ can do it, but I think Randall can help him a little bit by finding him earlier in the game. I really think RJ will benefit from that. And if he starts strong and finishes strong, most teams have no chance. Because then we really got Randall, RJ, Bullock, who's consistent, Burks when he's on. You know what I'm saying? And then you get your contributions from D Rose. Man, a little bit quickly. Sky's the limit. Defense like we've been doing. Defense. When I say defense, I'm talking about in your face. Man to man. We don't play much zone. Eric likes zone, but we haven't really been playing much zone because that's not what Tibbs does. So if we're gonna play defense, we gotta come with that grit, like we've been doing. And we're like the number one defense in the league for a reason. Thibodeau effect. I agree, but it's tiring to play like that. And can we play like that when we get into tough stretches? Sometimes our defense looks absolutely atrocious, and sometimes it's beautiful, and it'll be the same game. You know what I'm saying? So it really does depend on the mentality of the team. I think we can do it, but it's also important to maintain that level of energy if you're going to play like that, like we've been all the time. It's important. Why is this not stopping? Like ESPN is like forcing you forcing you to like watch these videos. That's our guy, RJ Barrett, doing what he does. Perfect example, by the way, from what I want from RJ Barrett. Stuff like that. And Randall needs to find him so he can do that. But let me not get copyrighted here. You know what I mean? I just think that's important. Going back to defense, though. Have the defense going and make sure you grab the damn rebound. I'm telling you guys, you can come back to this video after tomorrow if you don't believe me. Get that defense going and keep it going and grab the damn rebounds. You guys know. Guys that watching the watch along. Shout out to everybody doing the watch alongs with me, man. And I appreciate the subs going up too. I see a lot of people showing love, man. I really do. It's really awesome. I'm telling you. Last but not least, dark horses. Dark horses. I got Frank Ntilikina, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. Why? These are the guys that don't necessarily contribute every game, but they do have their moments where they're very valuable. Quickly, we know a little bit more of because he's been doing it earlier in the season, and his minutes kind of have gone down because I think Tibb is very calculated when he wants to bring Quickly on. You know what I'm saying? Quickly can hit that 3-4. You can also drive. It's very important because it's somebody off the bench that can contribute, and I think that's how we're going to use him. He's definitely somebody who is high energy, always tries to find the right play, always tries to make the right play. If there's a situation for him to shoot the three, he's not going to hesitate. Mid-range is not his strength, but he can drive, so that means he can also, get to the basket. Not really a basket finisher, but he can definitely pass. So that's definitely a strength for Emmanuel Quickly. Why I say dark horse Frank Ntilikina? Because Frank Ntilikina has been playing better. He's been shooting better, and he's getting more confidence. And I saw him braid his hair, so if he's on the braid gang too, I know that he's going to do something special when called upon. But seriously, he defends well. He can really defend. And that's important because we need guys like him in stretches where the defense needs to be on 1,000%. And if he can contribute a little bit with 2 threes, maybe 3 threes a game and play defense, that's solid for me. That's very solid for me because that's important. That's another guy who can get buckets that's usually not on the sheet for that. He's more on the sheet for defense, but his offense has been finding a little bit of game lately, and I think he can improve upon that. And I think he will be called upon in these playoffs, believe it or not, because it's going to be a very important season and series for the Knicks and season for him because it's make or break for Frankie. Last but not least, why do I say dark horse Obi Toppin? Look, man, Obi Toppin is slowly finding his game a little bit, hitting a three here or there. You know what I'm saying? And he does do nice things. He hustles, and he's been giving us some timely hoops. So I do think that Obi Toppin can get a lot out of these playoff series. Will he play a lot? It depends on where we are in the game. It really does depend on where we are in the game. We're not necessarily going to play a lot if we're down, but I think if it's a stretch where we just need some energy, he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Where is he? He's definitely going to play here as Obi. He's definitely going to play when called upon, when we need energy. And, the alley-oop is another route for us to get baskets. And that needs to be utilized if possible. Rose will find him, quickly can find him. Even Burks can find him when Burks runs to point guard. So that's also very important. Honorable mentions. I don't have many honorable mentions here because Kevin Knox, I don't think is seeing the floor. I mentioned everybody. Norvell Pell, unless the injury happens, he's not probably going to play much. And I would hope for Mitch Robinson to come back, but it's not likely for me. Luka Vildoza will probably watch. If he plays, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I'd be surprised, though, because given the way the season has been, I think it's more for him to watch than come in, barring injuries, you know what I'm saying? And that's that. Julius Randle, you know about already. I gave you guys the keys. I gave you guys everything. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, man. I broke down everything I can break down, really. That's everything I could think of, from Thibodeau to the players. And we play Sunday at 7. I'll be there with the watch along. Be there. We're going to have a good time. Those of you who've never joined me for the watch along before, it's a good time to watch with all your subs and all your friends. All your subs. Well, my subs and your friends. Fellow Knicks fans, and we just watch the game and see how we do. I do think we'll win. I also said in 6 we will win this game. First game is going to set the tone. I see us winning the first 2 and then maybe dropping one. And then from there, it's going to be back and forth. So maybe like 4-2, I think. Knicks in 6, 4 games to 2. Sounds about right. I think that's how it's going to go. I think it's going to go. But the first 2 will be very close. I think we'll win the first one and the second one. And then we might drop one and then win one. Drop one, win one. And then after that, that's where it gets tight. Because I think we set the tone the first game. The first 2 games will set the tone. And I think they might steal one from us. I think they're going to steal one. Because sometimes we have off nights, So if you win the first 2, you get 2-1, you get 3-1, and then, after that it's on us. It's really after that. It actually might even be 2-2. It might actually even go to 2-2, and then we bring the next 2 out. I like that more. It's gonna probably be 2-2. It's probably gonna be 2-2. So that's 4 games, and then we win the remaining 2 for 6 games. Book that. 4 games to 2. Knicks. But that's my prediction. Let your boy Donnie know what you think in the comment section, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy these videos, man. I love making these videos, man. Continuing to grow. That's it for me for now. Join me on the Facebook group, Knicks Talk. I will put that in the link below as well. But for now, I'll see y'all next time, man. I'm excited. I'll see y'all Sunday. Peace. I'm out.